Okay, so Vikings Banter, we're out here. We are at the Melrose Umbrella Company. I realize this looks like literally the aftermath. This looks like bar clothes.
This looks like the aftermath of Thursday night football game for us.
Yeah. This is very representative of how Luke's feels right now.
This is the embodiment of my early 20s, right in front of us. And it's fitting that this is the worst we've looked this season.
Yeah. It's giving you double
this is
PTSD.
what's around. Yeah. Taking me back,
I saw one of the most infuriating things ever on TikTok when I'm driving here, and it was, is this a must-win game for the Vikings?
The Colts?
Yes.
Well, yeah, I think it is.
That's what we're getting down to.
I can't believe we've fallen so far. We're already sitting around must-win.
Well, we fell so far in 4 days, which is the worst part.
Well, to be fair, before John started screaming at me on the last podcast saying, test game, everything's a test, this is a trap game. That's where the term comes from. Like those Thursday night games on a short week are trap games, and we talked about it in the pickle episode of talking about what the pickle could be, and it was Cooper Kupp. And then last minute we didn't prep for Puka Nacua, and he killed us.
He had a fucking day.
The momentum, that was a momentum game. Every single time, like we got the ball first, we scored first. The crowd was out of it. We were getting. LJ and I are sitting there. You were sitting right above us, by the way. I don't know if you saw. Yeah, your posts are literally right above
you could probably
where
see
we
us.
were.
Oh my God.
If we were sitting
You did one where you panned the crowd, and it was our seats. We just weren't in them yet.
Oh my God.
But no, we took the crowd out of it in the beginning. Honestly, I blame us. I blame Vikings fans for being too good at traveling, for being too loyal to their team. We had that whole fucking arena, stadium, whatever, doing Skull chant. We were clapping. LJ twice did the full
song?
what's our song? What's it called?
I would call it, I don't know. It's the Vikings fight song.
I thought there was a name to it, but whatever. You did the full song twice.
Standing, clapping, and everyone liked it.
Did people come in?
Some people were joining
They
in.
appreciated
Everybody
it.
got VIKINGS. But then we got the other fans started retaliating, and when they scored they were going nuts, and I saw this old guy give a kid a finger or something. That's just how the Rams fans are. They were disgusting. We got their fans into it, and then Jared Verse got a sack and he mocked our skull clap. We got them to care about the game when they didn't give a shit about the game.
One of the biggest blessings
was
Luke blessed me with some great tickets, phenomenal seats, so thank you so much.
Come on through.
Seeing him in his misery this close it's highly intriguing.
Okay.
It's sad because I was going through the misery too. He just goes through it deeper.
Oh yeah.
I need to see. At some point in my life, I need to see you and John at a game when we're losing.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We were at the game last year in Minnesota against the Saints, and we were up so much, and they started coming back.
That was awful.
And John was drunk, and he was talking shit to these people dressed as nuns, and because they were Saints fans. So he was yelling at them, and then his words were getting sloppier and slower, and they started coming back, and he was like, shit.
Yeah.
So it was actually funny to watch. But yeah, if we were down or getting blown out, I think that's the only time John and I could actually come together and unite. And
you sadly called it. A lot of people who were watching the game probably didn't know this moment happened, but when the Vikings fan we created the problem.
Oh yeah.
We started doing the skull chant.
Yeah.
Did I clap? I did, because it's a skull
yeah.
chant. And I didn't do the big one.
No.
During the first quarter injury.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about this. Was this the Eagles? Was this our version of the Eagles throwing snowballs at?
No, nothing is as bad as that. But
Why?
this
At
was
Santa. Why not?
It felt weird. The guy was not
way
getting
worse
up.
than
Eagles
us.
fans are just bad people, so they're
Where's
you have
Dad?
to. He's not here right now, thankfully. No, there's Bills fans, Eagles fans. They are any Philadelphia or Boston fan base is just rooted in being a piece of
Yeah, but
shit.
that was pretty shitty of us.
That was crazy.
I would like us to do it as fans.
You guys are good. What do you need? Come on through.
grab.
You're good.
Yeah, you're good.
You're fine.
I almost think we
You
should
have to
use it as a
say
rallying
Skull
cry when
Vikings.
our guys are down. As a we're here with you.
Oh, to get them back
Yes.
up, like angels in the outfield. Start
Yes.
doing some.
Well, you skull.
some wave.
When one of our guys is down, you skull chant
Yeah, and
to
they get
get
back up.
the
Hello.
morale up,
Is
get
this
energy
from-
going,
so redo-
Oh, thank you.
and all of these things.
He
You
gave
gotta put this in the box.
Dude, thank you. Thank you for the hospitality.
Yeah, I assume. Yeah.
I want to hear more about your fun stuff. Because you were brought here for a purpose, and it was entertaining.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
No, you're good.
No, you're good. You're
All
good.
right. Yeah.
That's the butt cam.
Milk punch.
You're in it.
Looks good though. Looks
We're
fresh.
keeping that in, by the way.
Yeah, that stays.
That's 100% staying.
Boom.
Nice.
Okay.
I will not. It's not water.
Is that Molly water? Or what are we doing here?
Yeah.
If you see gold flakes in anything that we do,
Then it's good. It's good stuff.
That's you.
but also stop.
Why? Oh. Okay.
Because there's not really gold flakes. You're seeing shit.
Oh.
Put gold flakes in there, always.
Yeah.
Oh.
We can distinguish between what's just water,
Yes.
And what's fun water?
not water,
Yeah.
and
What's adult
just
water?
coffee, or what's not coffee.
So is that like edible
keep
glitter?
this
Is
away
that
from
what we're
me. Move that over here.
edible glitter?
You know the gold actually has the most least reactive elements in the human body? And we were like, oh, we did gold this, gold that. It doesn't do anything chemically.
No.
It does something to my wife. So we're talking about gold here, people. If you can't hear off-camera comments saying that gold doesn't do anything to the body, and I call bullshit on that.
External, huge difference.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the gold.
But like I was saying, rallying skull chant for down players, I think would be a great.
Sure. Rallying skull chant when you're celebrating another team's player down is fucked
Pretty
up.
shit.
We weren't celebrating though. I think there was just some really
they
happy
weren't.
guys that just got it rolling.
It
Yeah.
felt like we were.
It was
celebrating.
poor timing. It was
Yeah.
definitely poor timing.
It's asshole moves.
It might have been drunk people who didn't even realize what was going on. They
That's
could have
true.
thought it was a TV timeout, you know? Some
But
people
we
had
all
bad
did it.
seats. We had to. You can't leave our Skull faithful
But that also
alone.
kind of turned the game.
It turned the game.
It turned the game.
Oh, we got their team into it. Ugh, what an annoying, just a frustrating situation altogether. The fucking Flores just like that was a big brother.
Why
backhand.
did our defense look so shitty? Can you define that?
I think it was less about the personnel. It was all coaching. So McVay ran a masterclass on getting Stafford prepared. And Stafford, this is just a veteran who has seen every defense. He knows Flores' defense. He knows everybody's defense. He's seen it all. And him going, this guy's coming. You're not fooling me. Hold the line, blah, blah, blah.
But it
and then the
wasn't a masterclass
receivers,
because all I was seeing was screens.
Yeah.
Small out routes.
they took what they could get.
And again, the only people that should have got yelled at potentially was our D line. But then again, that kind of comes down to Flores too because we didn't
Yeah.
blitz enough.
No, it didn't feel like enough. It didn't feel like we were getting any pressure. But when we did blitz, Stafford got it out quick. When we sat back in zone coverage, Puka found little
Just
spots
waiting.
to just sit in. When we blitzed too many and it was man-on-man coverage, they were getting deep shots. I was like, dude, the running attack was killing us. Like, they were just getting opportune first downs. And then we absolutely killed ourselves with flags. Whether they be legitimate or not, because there were some bullshit calls.
We're not even going to talk about the Justin Jefferson like exorcist move at the end.
Sam Darnold?
Sam Darnold.
Oh, Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even
no, that was-
actually realize that
No,
at
we
the
left.
game. We bounced.
Yeah, we
It
were
was
just
like,
like,
boom.
fuck this.
It was like an exorcism. Like
Yeah.
it was wild.
Once I saw the if I had seen that live, I would have fucking
On the
lost
field.
my mind.
Did you stay long enough to see it? Because
We watched
once
the
he
end.
went down, we
Yeah, we were-
immediately
yeah,
booted.
it was
Did
safety,
they
we're
play
out.
replays on the screen?
we just went. Like I didn't even.
I don't
say
think
for
they
that.
play replays usually.
You're
But
right, you're
the
not gonna
fact that
play
that's
a
not
bunch
a
of replays.
reviewable call is so insane. They're going to change that rule next year because of that exact moment.
Which
it
how
has
many
to be
rules
reviewable.
have they changed because of the fucking Minnesota Vikings?
This is Bounty Gate all over again. That was ridiculous.
But it was
His
a
helmet
scoring
was
play, so it
sideways.
honestly should be ruled.
Well, that's what they were saying is they wouldn't have seen it had it not been a scoring play. But when they saw the scoring play review and they saw blatant face mask, like you have to go, we fucked up. That's a fucking face mask.
right. So
And
then
it's
we
to
would have had
end the
like
game.
40 seconds or something to
Yeah,
do
we would
something.
have been
But we
off
have-
the goal line at the 20 and stopped clock with a minute to go.
With
and
the
like
best
you want
wide
to see
receiver in the league.
Yeah.
and, yeah, who finally got his 100-yard game.
Yeah.
Like, Addison wasn't part of the game. Like, he just couldn't get open, I guess, and then he fucking does his free 3 thing after the game and then tries to cover it like, oh, no, I've been saying this forever. Like, okay,
John
bro.
did say, though, he's been tracking him for a long time.
Yeah.
He's been doing it for a while.
It just sounds like he's been complaining for a while. There's no other reason to post that night at like
100%.
midnight. Like, what are you doing? You had a bad game. You had 3 targets.
And
2
you've already done it to us
receptions.
before with some weird
Yeah.
cryptic things.
Look, it'll be great. We get TJ Hawkinson back. But,
On Sunday?
yeah, he's back this
He's
week.
back.
Yeah, he's back. But we lose Christian Darrisaw for the entire
Huge.
season, which is just the biggest gut punch
How do we
you could
replace
imagine.
that?
Outside of Justin Jefferson, he is the most important player on our team.
So how do we replace that and address
You
that
can't.
need?
You cannot replace a top 3 elite left tackle. I mean, that's the most important position to keep, mid-lane quarterback.
That was one of the coolest
upright.
part about our offensive lines. We drafted everybody.
Yep.
So when you have that like continuity with everybody, they're friends, they're getting along, they know each
he's
other,
the
they know what the
dog.
other guy's doing before he does it. It's irreplaceable. Even if you brought in some like veteran guy, you're
And
not
you
going
don't
to
need
get in
to
it right
chip
away.
on the left. Like, you add so much help to the inside of that line using chips and Josh Oliver. Like, I mean, I guess the only thing you can do now is Josh Oliver on the left side to help. I don't even know who
Whoever
we're
it is.
replacing with. Yeah, but Josh Oliver's going to have to stay on the left now and help. He's so good. He's been good offensively, but again, with Hawkinson back now, he can just go back to blocking. Trent Sherfield, the wide receiver, can also help on the left side.
Yeah.
It just sucks. Like,
Well, this is what sucks is when a game like this happens, one, we lose this guy, but like you wish someone could go in the locker room and yell at the people that did something wrong, which were the coaches.
yeah.
So then it's like we have to be the people to yell at the coaches and be like, Flores, you're a piece of shit. You're never going to be a head coach in this league. If that's the way that you
Yeah.
blow this type of game at this moment,
But-
good freaking luck.
I
All
mean-
you have to do is do defense, and you didn't do it.
It's rough coming off of the Detroit loss, but I don't think any of us were saying this is a must-win game on Thursday night.
No, we all thought
I
it
don't
could
think
hap-
we didn't consider losing. That's how, like, in
True.
the bag we had that.
But
We
I-
were like, all right,
yeah.
we just battled. Like, Detroit looks like the best team in the league right now, out
Yeah,
like
holy
them in
shit.
Kansas City. But at least in the, I was about to say NL, at least in the NFC, Detroit looks like the team to beat right now,
Sure.
with the Niners struggling, whatever.
Undeniably.
We were this close to beating them
Yeah.
with the guys missing. Now
But
we
that's when
take
they get
such
you.
a step back.
But maybe the Rams are that top tier, though.
They're better.
With Puka, I didn't
They're
realize
much
he's
better.
so good.
Yeah, I didn't realize how big he was. His momentum plays were like every fucking time they threw to him, just open, caught it. Nobody could tackle him. I was like, it was disheartening. You know, it wasn't the 70-yard bomb that you're like, whatever. It was one play. It was like 10 catches of just like 10 yards, 10 yards, 10 yards. It was very frustrating.
And wide open.
wide open. Yeah.
Which didn't make any sense. We were playing the soft zone coverage
was pathetic.
that when you gave Stafford time and then Puka time to just sit in the pocket,
Yeah.
it just every single
Who
we
do the
couldn't
Rams
stop
have
it.
this week? Are they in a bye now?
No.
But I do think this game, hopefully, in the long run, within the season, we see it and go, okay, one, we lost to Detroit. That was a brutal game because they're good.
Yeah.
I think we also lost to a very, very good Rams team.
I think they're better than people realize, and we just put them back on everybody's radar. Like, ooh, we were overlooking the Rams for a bit. Nobody's going to be surprised when they play the Rams
Well,
now.
just like you were saying, unfortunately, the biggest struggle in this entire thing is our point in the division right now, which everyone else in the division
Fucking
won to Rams.
Packers snuck
or
out a
won to
fucking
Rams
win.
team. Exactly.
Yeah, well,
to,
Bears
like,
lost on a heartbreaker, but I don't consider them
Right.
there yet. But they're looking good, but they're not there yet.
it really stuck us in like a really shitty spot. And then
Yeah.
the Packers pulling that out last
Ugh,
minute
they
on Sunday. I'm
they
like,
get this horseshoe up the ass thing where it's like they should lose. They should have lost 2 more games
Yeah.
this season, and they just keep sneaking them out. But yeah, I mean, our back's against the wall now. It's like we can't lose. And now the Colts just made a change at quarterback, which I think will help them.
so that was today. That happened today,
Yeah,
Tuesday.
few
Anthony
hours
Richardson
ago.
is out, and
Joe Flacco.
Flacco.
Flacco's in.
I
Yeah.
hate that. I
Oh.
hate
He's
that.
been looking
He's not the type
so
of quarterback
good.
that you. A lot of quarterbacks that go, oh, you switch him out, they're going to be slow.
No.
He works so well in these
I
situations.
hate
And he's
that.
done it a couple times now, and he has like a week of rest because he didn't play this past week. Like, he's an old guy who now has fresh legs from a couple weeks off, and he just gets to step in. He can watch what Matt Stafford did and be like, all right, I'm just gonna, do that. And it's kind of
Right.
similar game style where it's like just sit in the pocket and pick us off. And they have very good wide receivers and a very good run game.
We have tape now that at the start of the season I said I don't know any of our defensive backs other than Harrison Smith because he's a legend.
Who's
Now-
looking slow. You said it during the game. You're like, this is the final season.
But I'm starting
Like,
to get
he's
to know-
not out there making plays.
yeah.
He's not taking guys' heads off. Like,
Right.
He's not flying around in the secondary. He's just there.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to get Gilmore's name. Like, I'm
Oh, yeah.
starting to see it and hear it. And it feels like a lot of the big plays are around him. And as a Vikings fan, that gives me PTSD because I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm getting used to that. I'm like, oh, shit, this is our hole that all these guys can just, like, jump in whenever they want.
Well, the problem is Gilmore is
Pause.
past his prime. Gilmore's past his prime. He used to be an elite shutdown corner with the Pats. Now he's kind of a journeyman, kind of like Patrick Peterson at the end of his career. Actually, very, very similar, especially with our role, where it's like sometimes he'll make a play that's just a savvy veteran move, like a couple weeks ago where Gilmore just jumped in and batted a ball down to win the game, and
Right.
you're like, damn, like that, he just like knows what play is. But athletically, he's not where he's not at the level to shut down a one anymore.
And we have to put him up against the one.
And that's our
the
problem is
Yeah.
like we need a guy to step up so that he can shut down a two or roam in the middle field and like see things that are happening. But if you're making him shadow a one, like he's gonna get beat. He's old.
So now we're 2 weeks away from the trade deadline.
Yep.
Do we make moves here? And if so, what?
That's the crazy part.
And
Like,
who's available?
There's a lot of wide receivers available. That's not what we
Man, we
need.
don't
But
need
like
it.
offensively, I think we're set except for. I mean, if there's a tackle out there, you go
You
get
just
him
bring
for
in depth just in case we have another one go down
Yeah,
or something
exactly.
like that.
Defensively, I would love to see another secondary player, maybe another pass rusher, because as John
Who's
pointed out the other
strategically
day,
actually available though for us to go
that's
after?
the thing. I
Yeah.
don't know right now because Josh Uche just got traded to the Kansas City Chiefs from the Patriots. I didn't even know he was available. He went for a 6th rounder, and they got a guy who had 11.5 sacks 2 years ago. Like, that's a very good plug-and-play player who's a very Flores-type versatile athlete. But I just don't know how all in we are because they still might be like, all right, now Darnold's kind of giving us questions. We lost the left tackle. Like, we don't want to give up a lot of draft capital because we don't. Maybe this isn't the team that can win it all.
I only think Darnold's a liability for us when he's just going to cost a lot to keep the team going. If we're fluttering around, there's no reason to get rid of him because he's losing his reason to stay. Where it was, I understood why we would do the Stafford move at that moment if we won and they did poorly.
Yeah.
Because Stafford, we would give him a great spot to be able to kind of ride out the
Rebuild.
last 2 years of his career.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Chase a ring.
maybe get a
Yeah.
ring, and then all of that could even out really well for us to have JJ then get the chance to really take this team
Yeah.
forward.
And have another veteran quarterback teach JJ McCarthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things was really interesting going to the game is watching Dallas Turner on the sidelines because he's always sitting right behind Flores. So at least he's a player that's aware and he's like staying
Absorbing.
in his line of sight at all times. It made me think that maybe Flores, we've heard, is a really tough coach on some people on the team. I wonder if he's doing that to Dallas Turner right now.
Because he's like, this is my guy.
This is my guy.
Well, that's his position too. That's what Flores played.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, but it is weird that Dallas Turner, you don't even know if he goes out or not. Like if you're watching on TV, you never see his name get called. And while I was watching him more just from the sideline, I'm like, okay, now he's finally running in the game.
Yeah.
And nothing.
Yep.
Not around the ball, not putting pressure on the quarterback.
He had a nice tackle at one point where it was just athletic and he flew around a guy and I was like, oh, there he is. And then nothing. And then, yeah, like you said, just disappeared for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
It was a very underwhelming performance, uninspired performance. Like it felt like nobody had the urgency of like, we need this. Somebody step up, like a Daniil who just found the right moment in the game to like shut something down. Like that's the difference between the superstars who get paid $100 million. You watched TJ Watt last night on Monday Night Football. Giants get the ball back late and they're driving to win the game, and TJ Watt just comes out of nowhere, blasts through two guys, strip sack, recovers it himself. And
Right.
you're like, that's a fucking superstar. That's who you give $120 million to. Who's gonna be that on our team? we're still growing these guys.
Who's your boy? Why I forget his name right now? Number 0.
Ivan Pace.
He has that in him.
He's got it. Dallas Turner's got the talent. Like, these guys have it. And Blake Cashman missed the game again. Like, how many times,
But our only
we
dog
need
in that
these
fight
guys.
did feel like Justin Jefferson. It was the
Oh, yeah,
only
he's
thing
so
that we
good.
had to rely on.
It was automatic. He got open. He held on to the ball. He's so damn good. I love him. He had that one catch that I was like, oh, that's out. Like, there's no way he got it.
Right.
And then you see the feet, and you're like, dude.
Yeah, it's one of the better
this
catches of
guy's
their
the
career so
fucking
far.
best. He's so good. I love him. It's a shame that we don't have, like, I don't know. We're
I think you're
we're
getting ahead
5
of
and
yourself.
2.
Yeah.
I'm still
you're
happy
still-
with the season. You
you're
guys
good.
come through. Come on.
Yeah, you're good.
What happened to your work?
Yeah. Look, we can get back on track. I don't think the defense is done.
I do think this is a must-win, though.
A what?
A must-win.
Yes. Yeah, you can't
Especially
lose
on
3 in a
prime
row
time.
and then be going to
No.
play the divisional games
Yeah.
against the Packers
No.
and all that.
This
Like,
is a must
we
win
need
by like 2
momentum.
touchdowns for me. Like,
I
I think
would
we have
love
to like,
to.
reestablish ourselves as a team
Yeah.
that should be feared. If we don't come away with
We get back home at least. But then after this home, like, another reason it's a must win, it's our game back at home, and then we go on 3 in a row on the road. So you don't want to lose 3 in a row, then start your 3-game road trip.
right.
So let's get the win, and then go on the road and, like, figure it out, But
Yeah, you cannot lose.
but the
prime
Colts are
time
gonna be
at home.
tough. Yeah. Oh yeah, and we got flexed to Sunday night, right? Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember where I was going with it.
We're gonna try to go to the Cosmo for that game. The Cosmos.
Oh, is that the
yeah,
The one next to the,
the
stadium.
screen thing? That thing's
the
pretty
big
sick.
like sphere.
Yeah.
It seems like one of the best ways to be able to watch a game.
Yeah, the
so they
tickets
try
are
to get in
pretty
contact.
expensive. I
Yeah.
think
It's basically like going to a game. It's $100 a ticket.
yeah. That's like sitting upstairs. SoFi also. How'd you feel about it?
I mean, SoFi is awesome. stadium.
It's beautiful.
It
but
has
just
no,
doesn't feel like football.
It is entertainment
Yeah.
at its purest level, but it has no character to it really,
Yeah.
other than the artistic the architecture.
Architecture?
Yeah.
Architecture
Yeah.
is dope and
Yeah.
very pretty, and
The
it's
screen is nice, but
screen's
that's
great.
like it changes sizes. That you're like, why is it skinnier here?
But
and
I
bigger
don't
here?
see LA having, or the Rams or the Chargers having their own culture. So
There's
it
no
kind of-
identity.
it
And they
fits-
just won the fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You'd think like that would rally.
But it
and that's the
fits.
only reason anyone's there. That fucking mariachi band singing Tupac, I could kill myself watching that. That was
That
the
was-
worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
that was more racist than
Embarrassing.
Trump's rally.
100.
It was
the most
crazy.
racist thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
It's like
100%
Kamala
agree.
changing her accent every 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, the mariachi band. Welcome, hello everybody. Welcome to the. You're like, what the fuck is
With
this?
all the rappers that are in this
The
city.
wild, wild west, a state that's untouchable, and you're like, oh my god, dude, go away. I hated that guy. You said DJ Ski is a Minnesotan.
Yeah, Minnesota guy.
What the fuck is he doing there?
making
Good
money.
contract.
Yeah, fuck
He's
that.
the DJ for Michigan Wolverines,
Uh-huh.
and
Oh wow, that's a lot of travel.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, no, nothing about that. And then the Whose House, and we interrupted and said Vikings House about 10 times until they realized,
Yeah,
that,
they-
we're
they better
supposed to
stop
say
that.
Rams House. Also, they fully pump.
I was just gonna say that they're pumping sound in
They're
that.
pumping volume in.
Yeah.
It would the ohmometer or whatever thing it is.
Yeah, bullshit.
Is blasting at like 102, 3,
Whenever
4,
they write.
and there's no one around us cheering.
No.
They're just like,
Yeah.
wow, that's getting loud.
Yeah.
When at the Vikings stadium,
You know.
when you see that thing going up, every single person
Everyone's
standing
screaming.
and screaming.
And like banging the floor.
Yeah.
No, there's nothing. That stupid decibel meter goes up. And you like hear cheering that doesn't sound like natural cheering. It's like coming from upstairs. You're like, okay, so that's coming from a speaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, that was the most fraudulent every part of like manufacture. It was the most LA thing imaginable. But the tailgating was
The
a lot
bottle
of fun.
girls that they're always
Tailgate
going to.
was very
Tailgate
surprising.
was
Tailgating's
awesome.
awesome, man.
Yeah.
That was the biggest surprise of the day.
Yeah, I would go to tailgate there again.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. We met a lot of cool people.
Yep.
I can't remember the guy next to us, but he was nice.
He was super great.
Yeah.
Rams fan.
Yeah. No, the Rams fans were fun. None of them are from LA, which was funny. But
That's true.
It
The
was
whole thing was
horrific, though,
entertaining.
that there was a huge group of Minnesota fans.
Oh, yeah.
We show up, and I expected crickets. They have this whole list of all the things that you can't do.
Oh, yeah.
Once you get there, all of those things are happening.
Yeah.
From 1,000, 2,000 people.
We were the easiest ones there. Like,
Easily.
We brought
Yeah.
nothing compared to everybody else.
ooh,
Oh,
a
thank you, sir.
coaster. Great coaster.
What you're drinking on this podcast, fire,
I'm gonna drink that lighter.
Fire and ice.
corks, and leftovers. Good. That's actually coffee.
Okay, don't drink that.
So you can snort that.
But I don't know. What else is to be said going into this Indy game?
I mean, the keys to this game, we got to get pressure again. Their O-line is not as good as it used to be. A couple years ago, it was arguably the best offensive line in the league. The interior of their O-line is better than the exterior, so we can get pressure around the side. Obviously, Flacco's older. He's not a mobile quarterback, so he's going to want to sit in that pocket and deliver balls. If you give him time, his receivers, Downs and Alec Pierce, and Adonai Mitchell, the three of them, mainly Pierce. Pierce is their deep threat, big white boy. Those guys will fucking light us up because all they do is go deep.
Right.
So if we don't get pressure on him, you can expect another similar thing like Stafford of just picking us apart. But if we can get pressure on that old-ass Flacco, completely different game. You know, he's 6'7", so it's not like we're going to be up in his face, jumping up and down. He'll deliver the ball over us, you know. But we need to get pressure on him. Jonathan Taylor's back, 100%. He looked great last weekend.
How much can we expect Hawk to be in this game? What do you guys think?
I mean, I don't know what the snap count is. I don't know what the play count is. I would expect 5 to 6 targets. Basically, every time he's in, he should be
Targeted.
running a route to be thrown to. He shouldn't be in on running downs. Like, let Josh Oliver take the running downs. He should just, when Hawk is in the game, target him. There's no reason to have him out there and risking injury unless he's getting the ball.
He seems like the perfect fit for Sam Darnold. One thing I've loved about Sam Darnold is he never makes stupid plays.
Yeah, he had a good
He'll
game.
get out of the pocket if it gets weird. He stays in the pocket when he needs to force the ball downfield to Jefferson, which he does a lot. But then when he's like getting out of the pocket, he's willing to throw it away. He's willing to slide when he needs to, take the extra yards, but not too many.
Yep.
And I think a Hawk for a guy like that, he'll find, because his head's still up. He's still looking downfield too. He's not being like an idiot.
Yeah.
Like Lamar Jackson, who's like head down. You're like, oh, he's not even looking for the ball.
Yeah.
Anybody else anymore? I think he's going to find Hawk a lot of times in those types of scenarios where it's like, it breaks down a little bit. We need that extra like safety outlet. He can hopefully be like really like the safety pin to this offense.
Yeah, this is the safety net for a quarterback like this, especially like this, who Jefferson's working an intricate route downfield and there's a pass rush. You need to get rid of it quick. And then Addison also kind of midfield
Addison
to deep.
takes the top off a lot, which
Yeah.
is nice. So
yeah, and he helps Jefferson. Like, his job is to get the safety off of Jefferson. If he doesn't go, you pick your poison. Hawkinson, on the other hand, will be that safety net for him and kind of act as a third receiver because Jalen Naylor was complete dog shit.
Right.
That was the worst I've seen him look. He dropped big passes. I think he dropped a touchdown. Like, Hawkinson doesn't drop those. He finds that space, and he'll be great if he's part,
Yeah.
If the only fear is Sam Darnold and Hawkinson have not worked together at all. They didn't have training camp together. They didn't have preseason together. We're now 8 weeks into the season. They haven't played together. So, like, their minimal practice together is all they've got. Let's hope that the chemistry shows up. And then Indy's defense is nothing. We can score on them. So I just don't want to get into a shootout. We need Flores's pass rush to be back.
Yeah. I mean, we shouldn't think that our defense is dog shit because they have
it's
been
not.
one of the best defenses in the league so far.
Yeah.
But
And it was a short week, and we got punched in the mouth, and now it's okay. We're not as good as everybody
go
said
back
we were,
home.
and
Yeah.
the pressure's off. Everybody's given up on us now. Like, power rankings, we've plummeted,
how far did we go?
Oh, we're like 10 or something. It's bad.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we were outside the top 5 last week, which was ridiculous at 5-1. But then when you lose, you go, all right, you guys were right.
Right.
We got to win again. So the boys need to get back on track. That's for damn sure.
What do we think for a score?
I think it'll be high scoring. I think it could be like a 28-21 basic score, something like that.
Okay.
I'm going to go 28-7 Vikings.
Oh, you
I like that.
down.
I need
Tate's looking
35.
for blood.
35-12.
I was gonna go in the 30s.
They're kicking field goals. We're totally just bend but don't break. But I think we need a really high-scoring blowout here to get back on track for what I thought we were supposed to be.
Yeah.
Within the last, the first 5 weeks of the season.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tale of two teams right now, but this is the NFL season. I mean, every team in the NFL is good. You catch, any given Sunday, any given Sunday, teams can fucking
Are the
fuck you
Giants
up.
good? Is Jacksonville good?
I wouldn't just go into Jacksonville like, oh, we're gonna fuck them up. Like Jacksonville can punch you in the mouth too. They haven't been, but we'll
been.
get them later in the
have them,
season.
yeah.
And I'm not gonna just write off Jacksonville. They have.
I still
good
want to go to
players.
that pool.
Ugh, you still want that? It's disgusting. No, I mean, the Rams are better than Jacksonville, but like I said, any given Sunday, a team can beat you if you're not prepared. So now we just have to get back on track.
I think this is Vikings banter for this week.
There you go.
You're getting a melancholy episode because that's how we feel. What can we
You
do?
just got to react to what's been going on, But next week we'll be back. We're all confident we're going to win this one. If we don't,
what happens?
then
if
you'll
we
see a melancholy
if we
episode.
lost this.
It's this.
If we lose this, then it's almost like, do you start selling at the deadline? Like, can you get some draft capital for some of these older guys? Maybe somebody that looks good, like give
Stephon Addison
Gilmore.
a second chance somewhere.
No. Addison stays. Like the young guys stay. Dallas Turner, anyone we drafted in the last 2 years.
I still don't
and
think he finishes the
JJ,
season.
They all stay.
Off season, I think he's cut.
No.
He's going to do
ridiculous.
something.
No, I mean if that's different. If he gets into like another DUI or something, but no, he's with us. All the stars, all the big name guys, all the guys we paid are with us. I think it'd be like a Stephon Gilmore, like somebody that's not coming back next year. Is there a contender who needs a veteran cornerback?
Because the NFC North is gonna fuck us.
And NFC North is crazy.
If we lose this game, the only thing I can have happiness in is watching Aaron Rodgers ruin the end of his
Dude,
career.
I was so wrong.
Which
about
I think
them.
we started that.
Yeah.
You guys. I was so high on them. You drafted him in fantasy last year after thinking he'd be good, though.
Yeah, because I liked his.
I drafted him on fantasy just because I thought.
We all thought there would be some sort of it had to be better than
I
he'll
just-
put up
only-
numbers. Like,
This is
fuck the Jets.
crazy.
He'll put up numbers.
I only liked his COVID takes. That's the only reason I drafted
Dude,
him.
this is they look like shit.
It's bad.
It's
really
fun to
fun.
see him miserable, though.
I would just like to beat the Packers. I want the Packers to miss the playoffs. Like that would be my silver lining to the season. John is on this thing where like the Bears are a bigger rival
No.
for him, and I'm like,
Well,
I don't.
he's saying personally.
Yeah, sure.
Which
but then
it
he's
doesn't
also
make
trying
sense.
to
The
convince
Packers
me.
rivalry is definitely bigger for us than
100%.
the Bears.
John
And then
says
it
it's
kind
Fuck
of
if
sucks
the
because the
Bears
Bears
won.
Packer rivalry is
Is
the biggest
the
one.
biggest,
Yeah.
And
But
then
that
we have
makes
like the
sense, 'cause
secondary
they've
one.
both won and they have a history
Yeah.
winning. We don't
And
have
they're
history
closer
winning.
in like city wise.
Yeah, but the Bears mean nothing to me because
don't
they
give a
don't win anything. I don't care. You never have a quarterback. You never win a Super Bowl. You're the same with us. You've been in misery
Yeah.
for years, so don't care. I had to watch 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks shit on our lives, and the yellow and the green are ugly, and they wear stupid fucking cheese on their heads. Like, how much more attention could you want?
And you know what? They're a low key asshole fan base. Like Philly, Boston, all of those.
Yeah.
And you're like, of course they're assholes. Packer fans are
Arrogant.
assholes.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
arrogant. Like Bart Starr, shut the fuck
Yeah.
up. And then they
Lombard,
crowned.
what about our trophy?
Yeah,
like,
the hat.
who wins?
And then the fucking Jordan Love gets crowned the next best quarterback in the NFL. The guy's done shit.
He doesn't look bad, though.
No, he doesn't look bad at all, but he doesn't look great. Like, there's a
Right.
lot of quarterbacks that don't look bad. Sam Darnold looked fucking very good for the first, 6 weeks.
still
Even
doesn't
last
look
week, he
bad.
looked good. Yeah. 240 yards, touchdowns, and no
Yeah, he
picks
did nothing
again.
to
Like,
lose that
dude.
game for us.
No, he
If
just
anything-
didn't. He just couldn't go win the game for us. But he was
But
not
did-
his fault.
But Kirk never went out and won the game for us.
Kirk had some times where he fucking balled out.
But
Kirk looked nice
still
when he
say
was
so.
missling some of those
I mean,
balls.
you don't
in.
become Kirk O'Chains because you didn't win some games.
Yeah, Kirk.
That's true.
Kirk randomly. You would get used to that and be like, okay, you've
But it was
shown
like
us you
this,
can
like,
do
every
this.
time, like,
What the fuck are you doing now?
It is fun to watch him from afar now because you see what Washington was telling us. Is he will play well, and then he'll suck.
Yeah.
And you just
And now
you get-
we're telling
it's great.
Falcons
It's fun.
and fantasy people
It's
because
just
he had that
pitter-patter.
500-yard game, and you're like, everyone's like, oh my god, Kirk Cousins waiver wire pickup of the week. This guy's amazing, and I'm like, this is exactly who I expect.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, how much do you regret not signing him? I'm like, nah,
Not at
you don't
all.
understand what's going to happen next week. He's going to have 200 yards and 3 picks. Like,
Right.
You can't rely on this level. It's a spectrum with Kirk. But
God, we got to get better if we're not talking about old players.
Seriously.
we got about what?
The Vikings have to get better, so we're not talking about old players next.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Hey, not one of us brought up Diggs until right now.
Well,
God.
Diggs is the Epstein of the NFL.
The Diddy.
And I'm not going to release stories yet until I have verifiable evidence.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But
The
it's
Diggs list is out there.
oh my God. Yes. Yeah, there's sexual assault violations. Yes. But he is also he doesn't discriminate on who he sexual assaults.
No, that's true. That's good.
So that's
Equal opportunity.
He's very woke.
assaulter.
yes.
Yeah, he's out for the season. So the Texans took a hit there. But Tank Dell, congratulations. The gift that keeps giving is my trade to Katia. DeAndre Swift crushing and
again,
fucking Tank Dell crushing. Yeah, you just keep getting fucked
I
with
just-
unlucky
I know.
matchups. Oh, God.
Any surprise fantasy people that you would either try to pick up or that should just be firing this week?
Yeah, go get. I mean, everybody's saying Bo Nix because he just had a big game, but just anybody on the Colts offense because now with Flacco, those receivers are going to eat. Jameis Winston eating his W's, all that dumb shit he does.
I really like Jameis Winston.
I
though.
really don't like Jameis Winston, but my God, the guy just slings the ball. He's like a poor Brett Favre, where it's just like, I'm gonna fucking throw this ball all over the field. Someone's catching it, whether it be the other team or my team. So Cedric Tillman on the Browns, small name guy who's gonna fucking eat. He just had a monster game. I actually wanted to pick him up before, but I didn't get him in the waiver claim. As well as Judy will get targets, but he's not very good. And then Josh Downs and Alec Pierce are the two for the Colts. Like, those guys are just the rest of the season. Also, I like Jalen McMillan on the Bucks, another receiver who's going to eat until Mike Evans gets back. This is the time of trades. Like, you're 8 weeks into the season now. You know what your team is. You know what they're not. The idea of redraft, which is not dynasty when you redraft your team every year, you know by now if you have a chance at actually winning it. Like, if you're fledgling and you're like trying to fight to just make playoffs, what's the point of even
So
showing
just
up?
give that player to a friend?
No, like,
and
no,
let him
no,
win?
no, no, not collude and like give up the season. No, if you've got a big name player, if you've got like a fucking Jonathan Taylor, that's your anchor of your team, and you're sitting in 6th to 10th, trade Jonathan Taylor from multiple guys. You know.
So how do you trade? So let's say I traded like a Justin Jefferson because my team just isn't well rounded.
Yeah.
How do I then go and look around to get what's real value for him?
So-
when I'm going to get like 3 players.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to justify.
So it goes team by team, but it's like find your weaknesses and then don't be the guy who says send offers. Like, you need to go pick who you want and go actively get that player. If you have a Justin Jefferson or someone who's like big name guy,
A Christian
been playing
McCaffrey?
very well, CMC, it's too late now because he's coming back next week.
Thanks, Luke.
But well, he's on a bye and then he comes back. So look, you've been getting value for him, but that exactly like that. Like, you have a guy you can sell just on name value alone. You have to find what your team's weaknesses is. If it's tight end, wide receiver, running back, quarterback, whatever it may be, you start at the bottom of the standings, and you pick, I like to go from 12, from the team in 12th or 10th, however many teams your league is, and go up, because you don't want to give the guy at the top of the standings a great player. So go pick somebody that's beneath you that you won't have to deal with in playoffs, and see if they have anything you want. See if you can trade rape them. Then move up one.
Trade rape?
Go to trade rape. You gotta. If you're not doing the raping in trades, you're the one getting raped.
Oh,
You don't
God.
even realize.
Welcome to America 2024.
Yeah. It's the Diggs list. So you go from 12th, try to find some players you can't find. If it's not working, you go up to 11th. Da, da, da. Why do you think I made trades with you two? We were all at the bottom of the standings.
Yeah,
I'm not going
okay.
to the people at the top. So
God, no, I didn't. I thought I was just having fun. No, I was kidding. I got R-worded.
no, you didn't. I did. I gave you Brock Bowers. Kelsey did have his blow-up game. Who else
Yeah.
did? You got Achan, who had a monster week.
Yeah,
I got
Achan's been
stuck with
nice.
Brees. These were very.
I don't like
These
he's-
was
he's
mutual
very
sex.
inconsistent,
We had
though, and I don't like that.
Consensual sex.
Yeah.
In our trades. But no, you want to go from the bottom, work your way up, try to find someone, sell off your guys with big names. Otherwise, what? You're going to be sitting at the end of the season with big name players in 8th place or something.
Is there a player in mind that you think is a good guy to trade right now because you don't believe his draft capital's at its highest point?
Yeah, I think so. It's sad to say because he's on my team, on my other league team, but Joe Mixon has just been out of this world. Every time he plays, he missed 3 games, but when he does play, he gets 30 carries, 25 carries, 25 carries. Like, you cannot find 3-down backs who get that much volume in today's NFL. And he's putting up massive points. I think he's averaging 2nd most points behind Derrick Henry right now in standard leagues. So somebody like him also, you want to look at bye weeks. Mm-hmm. So he has a week 14 bye, which is week 1 of a lot of people's playoffs, fantasy playoffs. So you're kind of fucked if you've got your best player is going to be out in that week. Derrick Henry is also a week 14 bye, and Jonathan Taylor's a week 14 bye. So there's a lot of players that are going to be missing in fantasy playoffs and could get you eliminated. So if you can kind of give, don't just take anything for it, but if you can get your opponent or whoever your like rival is, give them a week 14 bye, you can, diminish their team. So a Joe Mixon is somebody who I would like to trade away. Also happy to keep him. I'm not saying just throw him away. Who am I going after? Hurt players like a Nico Collins who hasn't come back yet. See if somebody's out of playoffs.
Did I cut him? I tried to cut him.
You said you were going to cut him, and I told you it's ridiculous. You can't cut him.
It won't let me. The app will
shouldn't let you. He was the number 1 wide receiver in fantasy until he got hurt.
He has that IRO thing.
He's going to be back in 2 weeks.
I don't believe any of that ever.
They said he's fine.
If it says IR, you're gone.
But you have an IR slot. It's not like he's just sitting on your bench. Like he's taking a specified slot.
Dude, I have a very good track. Who was the guy who went down? Darisaw? I told everybody on the chat. He's gone. Never. See you never.
Yeah, no. IR is different than out for season. He's coming back. You'll be fine. Look, if you want to give me Nico Collins, we can make a trade right here.
For Mixon?
No, I don't have Mixon.
I thought you just told me you had
In
Mixon.
my other league.
The
Sorry.
other fucking league. The important
my
one.
main league. Yeah.
Yeah,
my
God.
expensive league. I'm focused on that one. I have been
Think about what you want Collins for.
trade-arring.
Actually, think about that.
Okay, I'll do it right now. I'm going to send you a trade. I have plenty of wide receivers.
Dak Prescott, I can cut him, right?
You might as well
Sam
hold on
Darnold's
to
played
him.
better than him almost every week.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, why not?
Yeah.
But Dak usually ends strong, and this is now where he starts to pick up momentum if that trend continues, But he did look good. Him and CeeDee looked like they were back finally.
Well, it sucks because he's the type of player that should be a starter on somebody's roster, I feel like.
Yeah.
And when he's mine, it was horrific.
Well, that's the other reason you want to hold on to players is so that nobody else can have them, if somebody else is struggling for a quarterback. But even so, rather than dropping somebody,
I think I already
look
have 3
around the league and be
quarterbacks,
like, hey, does anyone want, do you want him? Do you want him? Do you want him?
Yeah.
So, there's so many trades out there. Kenneth Walker just had a bad week. I would go after him. If you have David Montgomery, I think get rid of him because he's in a split share, timeshare, and he's on the lower end of it. I just traded for Jalen Hurts in my other league, so it's too late now because he just had a monster week. But before this week, he would have been a good one.
I love having him talk about his cardinal sins. Just talking about his trades he's made.
Oh, it's the best. They're not listening anyway. They're bad friends.
But this is it. Perfect week. Let's get this win.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get back on track. Flores, if you hold them to 12 points, I will tell the entire audience again, you deserve to be a head coach in the league. Hold them to 12.
The best part of this might be that he won't get an opportunity. Hey, maybe we get to keep Flores for longer now.
Yeah, shit,
If
Flores.
if he keeps having the best defense, someone's gonna fucking hire him.
That's true. All right, over and out. Skol. God bless you all.